Hello, everyone. Welcome to Creativity. This is Jennifer. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am here with my paper crafting Creativity with Jennifer. Welcome on this Sunday evening. I hope you have had a wonderful day. I'm going to give everybody just a moment to get on as I get my desktop up and working so I can see comments once I turn the camera down. I've got a few things to share with you, and then we're going to jump into our projects. Tonight, we are going to be taking advantage of the last minute of summer. There we go. We're going to be diving into the last bit of summer, and we are going to be using our sunrise sailing product tonight through Stampin' Up. All right, give everybody just a moment. Let me get my creativity sign up. I see my chart over here. That is my goal sheet of where I am in sales for the year. And I've got a few more things to do between now and September the 30th to reach my goal. So I am hoping to get there before September 30th, which is the new Stampin' Up! Year for Stampin' Up! I've got some goals set for August and September. And with your help and your support, I know we're going to get there. All right, so I'm refreshing my desktop. It looks like I was frozen. Okay, there we go. Now let's see what's going on. So I'm refreshing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so we can get started into our projects tonight. I've got 3 great projects, but then there's a couple of announcements that I need to share with you before we go into our projects. All right, so let's get my mount so I can turn the camera around. All right, let me adjust some things here. Welcome for those that are joining. Hello on this gorgeous Sunday. I know here in Lexington, South Carolina, where I am located, it has been scorching hot today. So I have been in my craft room. Luckily, it's been cool up here, but it has been a little scorching outside. So, all right, let's flip our cameras so we can get our project started and get everything cleaned up here and ready to go. Let's see what I've got going on here. Give everybody a moment to get adjusted. I just knocked off one of my lights. So let me get that back up here and see if that'll work for us there. All right, so it looks like we are good. I'm gonna get the computer here out of our view. All right, guys, I am almost there. Been trying some new lighting stuff so we can get set up. Hello, welcome for joining. Thank you for being here. All right, so we're going to get started. Got a couple of things before we dive into our project. First and foremost, thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out on your Sunday evening to join me. So I have my craft along coming up, which is Monday, August the 25th at 7 o'clock. We will go live right here. But in the process, if you register between now and 11 a.m. tomorrow, I am going to be shipping you the projects that we will be doing, and then you will be able to craft along with me. And so I wanted to share with you some of the projects that you will get with this. These are some of the projects still in the process, but these are some of the cards that we will be making during our craft along on August the 25th. So there is 2 other ones. There's going to be a total of 5 cards. And then what you're going to get is you will get a full pack of the embossed design mix and match specialty card and envelope. So you will get the envelope and the card base with this. You will also get a pack of the Baker Twine Essentials. You will also get, excuse me, the 2025-2027 in color pearls. And then you will get a pack with all of the die cuts out. Now, for the pieces that are stamped, I cannot send that to you. I will send you a piece of scrap cardstock, but I cannot do any of the stamping because that is against Stampin' Up! Angel policy. So I cannot send stamped images. So with that, if you want your cards to look identical to mine, you have the opportunity to add on the bundle, Coneflower Celebration, and the dies that go with it. Or you can just order the stamp set, whichever you choose, because I will do all the die cutting for you. And then this is a craft along, so this way you are able to craft with me, make the projects as we go along. These are the dies that go with it, and I have featured these in the last week. I featured these in my Wednesday coffee and card class, but these are the dies that go with the stamp set. You can add this on for free shipping and tax because I pay for that when you add it on to the class. I have the registration link in this video for you to sign up. It is $39, and that includes your shipping and 5 projects, and you get about $20 in product on top of the projects to make the class. All right? So that is my craft along class. If you're interested in that, make sure you sign up for that. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to share with you, and I'm not going to go into a lot of details, you just need to make sure you're on my email list by tomorrow, because I will be sending out the registration link for the new mini catalog. Okay, this is going live on September 3rd through December. September 3rd through January 5th. This catalog will go live. So, make sure you're on my email list. There's a link in the video so you can get all the instructions in order to be able to get your catalog. Now, if you have ordered from me in the past 6 months, you will get a catalog, but I still need for you to please fill out that survey, because that is a check off for me when I go through to make sure when I'm doing all my address labels that you are on the list and I don't overlook anybody, okay? So make sure you do the survey when I send it out tomorrow for the new catalog. And you're not going to be disappointed, I promise. Oh, man, I am so thrilled. This is going to be one of the best catalogs that Stampin' Up! Has put out in quite some time. It is phenomenal. But with that being said, we still have lots of fun stuff going on in the annual catalog and our online exclusives. And stay tuned for Coffee and Card on Wednesday of this week, because I got some new online exclusive items coming. So I'm excited to share those items with you because it's going to be fun. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. I haven't started working on projects yet, so I can't show a sample, but this is one of the stamp sets that we're going to be playing with. This is the Charter & Company. It is so fun to play with this. Been doing a few things, but I haven't designed. But this is going to be coffee and card on Wednesday, so stay tuned. So we got new exciting things still available, so don't miss out. Welcome everybody that has jumped on. I am excited you're here tonight. Thank y'all so much. All right, so let's get started with our projects tonight. And what I wanted to share with you is what we're going to be doing tonight. Now, the projects that we're doing tonight, I was inspired by, hey Kathy, yes, it is so cute. It is so cute. I have an idea. You're going to love it, I promise. Let's see. The cards that we're doing tonight, I attended a demonstrator retreat back in early summer. And I am just now getting around to doing the class that I took with her. And the demonstrator that I was inspired by to do these cards is Hattie Nelson. I took one of her add-on classes that she did at the retreat that I was attending. So the cards inspired me through her tonight. So I wanted to give her credit for what we're going to do tonight. But I have taken and done a spin on the cards. All right, so we're going to take advantage of our last little, 2.5 or so weeks left of summer, and we're going to pull out our Sunrise Sailing stamp set again, and our dies, and our 3D embossing folder. Now, you can order the stamp set. It is available. The dies are available. But the embossing folder is not currently available, but it is coming back. Let's see if I can tell you real quick. Let's see. I don't know if I can find it real quick as to what the date is going to be. But you can order the stamp set and the dies. Is just the folder. Okay, the folder is supposed to be back on September the 1st. So you can order individually pieces of the stamp set and the dies, or you can wait until September 1st and get the whole thing. Hi, Marilyn. How are you? Thank you for being here. I had somebody else that joined too. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Paula. Welcome. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Great having you. But these are the products that we're going to use tonight, grabbing that last little bit of summer that is out there. And then I also use the stylish shape dies tonight. And then we are using the Everyday Sky Designer Series paper. And this paper is online exclusive paper. So I wanted to share with you what it looks like. These are strips. These are front and back, okay? So I wanted to share those with you as I have cut those pieces. But here is front and back. And this is called Everyday Skies Designer Series paper. And so the front side is kind of got a pattern to it, and the back side is solid. We're going to go through these real quick so you can see them. And then we're going to jump right into our projects. It is some beautiful paper. This is a online exclusive designer series paper. So if you just go in and click the shop link in the video here, you will be able to pull these up and shop. These are online exclusive papers. All right. So there is our paper line. Let's go ahead and put this back up, and you can do that. Now, talk about the class that we're going to do tonight. Let me share some samples with you of our projects so you can see what we're working on. This one is going to be card number 1. And then here is card number 2. And here is card number 3. Now, keep in mind, this is a free with a purchase class, so you will be able to get the supplies to make all 3 of these cards by clicking the link in this video from tonight until Saturday, August the 23rd, and placing a minimum of a $40 order, and I will then turn around and send you all the products to make these cards for these 3 projects. Okay, so a minimum of a $40 order between tonight and Saturday, August 23rd, and then you will get the supplies to make these cards. Remember, there will be no stamping, but I will do all the die cutting and embossing for you. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. I am excited to do these projects. Like I said, I did a retreat, and I am just now getting around to making the projects from the class. So I did the envelope, and what I did is I took this background designer paper and I put it on the flap of the envelope so it matches. So when you send it out, you've got matching cards and envelopes. All right. Also, when you get a kit from me, you will also receive a PDF file giving you step-by-step instructions with all of the measurements as well. All right, so we're going to take this is pumpkin pie. We're going to take that as our base and fold it down where we've got our score mark. On the inside, what I did is I took a piece of the Night of Navy and a basic white, and I stuck it on the inside. So let's go ahead and grab our ink pads here and our stamp sets. So we're going to take our Night of Navy, and we're going to take our little birds. I am trying to get away this weekend and get down to the beach one more time before summer is over. The beach area is one of my favorite places. It is like my happy place. I can go to the beach, summer, winter, fall, it don't matter. I have to go to the beach if I go to close enough to the beach. I am just a beach person. I love going to the beach. All right, so we got our little birds in the top corner. We're going to move our stamp pad out of the way so we do not get that messed up. And then we're going to take our adhesive. Right, tonight I am using our Stampin' Seal adhesive. We're going to go ahead and put our adhesive on the back here. And then we're going to put this onto the center of our Night of Navy cardstock. And that is going to be the inside of our card. And then we're going to take this and go ahead and put on the inside of our card. Another thing that I have coming up, and it should be sometime next week, is I am going to be doing a BOGO sale as well. So I retire when Stampin' Up! Retires the stamp sets, I turn around and sell my stamp sets that are retired. So any designer series paper, any of that kind of stuff, I return and sell it out. So be on the lookout for that to come. All right, so we're going to take our, we're going to move our base of our card out of the way. We've got another piece of pumpkin pie. We need our pumpkin pie ink pad here, and we need our water. All right, so we're going to take our pumpkin pie ink and we're going to open this up, and we are going to take and tap it into our ink pad, And then we're going to stamp it along the bottom. Yes, Kathy, I know you are. It's coming tomorrow. That's my project is I'm going to start pulling out and getting it together. So I can see what exactly I have. And then probably we'll announce it on my Wednesday Facebook Live when I will actually have that go live. Okay, but it'll be right here on my Facebook page. I will show you the product, put a number on it, and then all you do is place an order for that value of what the product is, and then I will then turn around and send you the retired product for free. All right, so be on the lookout. All right, so we got 3 of our waters and the pumpkin pie on pumpkin pie cardstock. We're going to take this now, and it is ready to go on our card front. And we're going to do this. And then we're going to put it right on our card front. Just like that. Okay. And now we're ready to put our pieces together here. This is going to kind of be a little bit different from the original. I turned my paper the wrong way, so we're going to have the big piece at the top, and we're going to do the little piece down at the bottom. Still going to be fun. It's still going to work the same. It's just going to be a little different where the pieces are placed different, but it's going to give you the same message. So I am not stressing about that. All right, so we're going to do this because in paper crafting world, there is never a mistake that we can't fix. We can always fix them because, you know, nobody knows it's a mistake other than you. That's the big part. So don't ever be afraid to continue sending stuff or moving stuff around because nobody knows it's a mistake. You're the only one. So just do your paper crafting, share your paper crafting. That is the big thing. Send your cards out. Let's see. I wanted to get my piece of scrap paper here. We need to stamp our sailboat on here. And what I did with this is I took the Night of Navy and I took my sailboat and I tapped it into my ink pad. And then I took and placed it right onto my basic white. All right. And then we're going to take the inside of the boat or the sailboat and tap it. And then you're going to line it up on top of the sailboat outing. Just like that. All right. Now we need to take our sail pieces. Well, here we go. We need to take our sail pieces and tap it into the pumpkin pie. And then that is going to go right over here. Just like that. And then you will take, you will then take the sailboat die and you're going to lay it over like this. And you're going to run this through your embossing cut machine. And when you do that, you're going to take it and it's going to come out looking just like this. All right. So I've already pre-cut this for us. So we're ready then to put our dimensionals on the back of this. And y'all know me, I'm a dimensional person. I just love dimensionals. So we're going to do 4. All right, let's put one right in the middle there. And we're going to take our pick tool and we're going to take the backings off of here. All right. And then our, about messed up. Our sailboat is going to go straight on here. Just like that. Then we're going to take our birds and we're going to tap it into the Knight of Navy. And then the birds are going to set free in the sunset here. Okay. All right. Then we've got our basic white. And this was cut out of our stylish shapes. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on there. And this sentiment says, your destination, your destined, you're destined for great things. All right, we're going to take our Knight of Navy and we're going to put that straight into our sentiment. Okay, and it is ready for dimensionals. And what I'm going to do with this is I am going to put 2. Yes, 2. I'm going to put 1 on each side here. And we are ready to put that on our card front. And that's going to go right there. All right. Now we are going to take our Stampin' Seal adhesive and put on the back, and it is ready to go on the card front. And I just realized that I didn't do this step, so let's see if I can peel this up. We needed to take, okay. We need to take our Misty Moonlight and white 1/4 ribbon and take 2 pieces of the white and tuck it in the top corner of our card. And I forgot to do that. So we're going to take some adhesive and I'm going to put some adhesive on each side. And then we're going to stick it under the card there. And then we're going to do one more piece because it's got to go up there too. All right. And then we're going to stick it right under there. All right, now what I want to do probably is put just a little more adhesive now in that top corner there to hold it down. Perfect. All right, so that works. So now the last thing for this card, we've got to do our embellishments that needs to go on this card. And let me put the dies up here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so now the embellishments, let me see where they at. We are using the two-tone sparkle gems for these. And what I want to do is I wanted them to be Knight of Navy. So I am taking my dark Knight of Navy blend and I am going to color the embellishment And these work. You just have to be careful if you're using our Stampin' blends that you don't press too hard, because it will mess up the point of your blend if you're not careful. So just do it lightly and let it sit for a few minutes so it has time to dry. All right, and then we're going to take our pick tool and we're going to put the embellishments onto the card base, just like this. Perfect. All right, so there is card number 1. We needed to do our envelope, and how I did that, I thought I had the paper out. Huh. All right, so we're going to take our piece of our designer paper. Let me go ahead and close up these ink pads so I don't get that ink on us. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our adhesive and we're going to run it all the way over. And I am doing it kind of heavy because this is going to be on the outside of your envelope. Now you can also use tearing tape, the liquid glue, whatever your choice is. And I open up my envelope and I just take the flap and I take this and I butt it up against where the fold of the card is, or the fold of the envelope, and then I just press it down. Yes, Marilyn, this paper is gorgeous. I have not used a whole lot of it, and then today, or this weekend, when I opened the pack up to start doing these cards, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I have not done a class with this paper. There are so many things out on our online exclusive store. It is not even funny. I will tell you, when I placed my order for the new mini catalog, most of everything I ordered was online exclusive items. Now I got to go back and place another order for the mini catalog because there were so many good things online. So check it out. All right, so there is the envelope and there is the card. So now you don't have a naked envelope because, you know, we don't send naked envelopes. All right, so let's move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is going to be this one here. This is card number 2. And what I am doing with it is this is our basic white thick cardstock, Misty Moonlight. What is the name of the paper? Debbie, the designer series paper, it is called Everyday Skies designer series paper. The product number, if you go into the search bar and put in 164622, that will pull this directly up. All right, so this is basic white, Misty Moonlight, and then the Misty Moonlight ribbon that is in the Misty Moonlight and white pack. That comes as a pair. And then another piece of basic white that I embossed. And then we have some linen thread on here. All right, so with this card, what we're going to do is we're going to do some stamping. I have already got the embossing done, so we didn't have, you're welcome, Debbie. That way you didn't have to watch my desk go scattering, because when I do my die cut machine, it shakes real bad. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper and we're going to put under here. We are going to take our Misty Moonlight ink pad and one of our small blending brushes that we have. We do sell the mini blending brushes. So we're going to take our Misty Moonlight and we're going to rub our sponge over here, and we're going to start over on the side here because you don't want it to get too dark. And so start out easing onto the card, and the more pressure you have, the darker it gets. And if you start directly onto your card, then you're going to see how it blobbed over here. You will get that in your card if you're not careful. So I always like to start on the edge, and then I rub myself into my project. And this is our water base down here that we're kind of running through now. We're going to just kind of, there we go. All right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our, and if you have the blend, you can do it with the blend too, or I've got our Stampin' Right marker, and I am going to do Misty Moonlight. And on our markers, we have a writing tip and we have a brush tip. I'm going to take the brush tip and I'm going to flick some speckles onto my card. Okay, I'm barely tapping this because you don't want to do it too hard because you will mess up your tip. So what I did is I took it and I took the edge of it and I did like this. I kind of flicked it to where you just get some speckles. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. See where the specks is in the card. All right. Now, we are ready to move on. All right. So we're going to take our piece of Misty Moonlight. We're going to grab our Misty Moonlight ribbon. And we're going to wrap it around the outside, or right through the center of our card base here. And we're going to take our snips and we're going to snip that off. We're going to turn this over and we're going to put some adhesive on it to hold the ribbon down. We're not tying a bow or anything like that. We're just putting this in the center. All right. And I just got a little bit of adhesive on the back side. Okay. And then we're going to work it to where it's straight, or straighter. Okay. And then we are going to put some embellishment, some dimensionals on the back side of this. And we're going to put it on the Misty Moonlight with dimensionals. So, because this is embossed 3D, it deserves to really stand out. Working with this really made me want to go to the beach, guys. I am not joking. To see the seagulls and put my feet in that sand. I don't really get in the water. I'll put my feet and stuff in it, but I don't really go out in the water. But I love putting my feet and just sitting in my chair and sitting in my chair. Hold on, Kathy, you distracted me. Sitting in my chair and just detaching from electronics and just enjoying God's beauty of a beach. All right, Kathy, I won't delay. Is this an embossing folder? Yes. So, Kathy, this is a 3D hybrid embossing folder. And it is out of stock until September the 1st. So if you go in on your account, Kathy, or anyone, if you go in on your account and type in, let's see, the Sunrise Sale Hybrid Embossing Folder in the search bar, it'll tell you that it is not available. but they're down in the right-hand side of your screen. It will ask you if you want to be notified. If you put your email address in there, when it comes in stock, Stampin' Up! Will notify you that that folder is back in stock. And that's for any of our product that if you're out on our website and something says currently unavailable, if you'll go ahead and just put your email address in that slot, they will notify you when it comes in. It is an amazing tool that Stampin' Up! Has just recently put out there for us. So, but Kathy, this is the hybrid embossing folder. I'm going to see if I can put a piece of cardstock in here so you can actually see it. Maybe this is going to show up, but it's got clouds and the sailboat, and it's got water on it. And with it being called a hybrid, yeah, there we go. With it being called a hybrid embossing folder, what it does, and I will do a sample of this. I've done it before, but I will redo it sometime this week and do a little clipping of it for you. But what it does is the hybrid folder means, so this sailboat die right here, you can stick it in here on the other side. Let me get the right folder here. You can stick it inside of, no, did I have it right? All right, yeah. So you can stick it in here and it locks. And you, there we go. So whenever it locks, it's not going to move. So whenever you put your paper down on it, you close this up. Your die is in here. You run it through your emboss and cut machine, and this will cut out and emboss it at the same time. So it does both. But I will do a sample of a card later this week for that. So stay tuned for that. All right, so let's get back to the actual class here. So now we've got our base here. We are going to take and stamp our sentiment here in the Misty Moonlight. And I used the stamp set, the sentiment that says, "You deserve the best." You could do retirement, congratulations. So there's different ones that you can use in here. But I've got the little piece of basic white. We're going to stamp this straight onto for our sentiment there. Then we're going to take and put our adhesive on the back. And we are going to stick it on our Misty Moonlight strip. And try to eyeball it there to get it centered. I am going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back there. I'm going to take my linen thread and we're going to just wrap it around a couple of times. So we're going to make a hoop, or we're going to try to make a hoop, okay? And that's where the adhesive comes in handy on the back side. So we're going to do this. And I want it to kind of be together. I want it to act like it likes each other, not like siblings and be crazy with each other. All right, so we're going to do it one more time to give us a loop right here. All right, there we go. And then we're going to snip this off. So we got our linens there. And then if you don't want this one hanging, you can actually snip it off just like that. Not a biggie. All right, so we're going to put our embellishments, some more dimensionals on the back side here. Oops. Okay. And then we got that. And then we're going to take our backing off right there. And then we're going to stick our sentiment right onto our card base right here. All right. And then we're going to polish it off with our embellishments. And we're going to take one of the big ones. We're going to stick over here. And then we're going to take this one and put up here. And then we're going to take another big one and we're going to stick it over here. Now, this is ready to go on our card base. And because this is basic white, we don't need to put anything on the inside. I normally try to have an inside piece when it's colored cardstock, so it's easier to sign your message and stamping purposes that way too. All right, so we're going to take this now and stick right onto our card front. So there is card number 2. And this envelope, what I did is I took the birds and I stamped the birds on the cover here in the Misty Moonlight. So let's go ahead and get our Misty Moonlight. Let me clean my stamp off real quick. Okay, and we're going to take and do our birds. And I did them in 3s. You can do them however, but I did mine in 3. And then what I did also, I took my pen and I did some flicking. So we're going to take this, we're going to close that like that. We're going to take our pen here and briefly get the speckles going on the card envelope. All right, so there is that card. So there is card number 2. Yes, Debbie, I love the birds. That is one of my favorite things of going to the beach, and they just swarm around. Amazing how friendly they are. All right, so there is card number 2. Let's go to our card number 3. All right, we're going to save the best to the last, right? No, they're all great cards. I have thoroughly enjoyed this set, and I wanted to grab it one last time before summer ended, because it is almost time to start getting out the fall stuff. My grandson tried his best this weekend for us to decorate the house this weekend in fall, but he got sidetracked, so I got out of it because I'm like, I still got 2.5 weeks of summer. I don't want to give up my summer yet. All right, so the last card, let's do this. The last card is going to be using the Petal Pink, and then, of course, the Designer Series paper. And then I've got Basic White and Azul, what is it called? The blue is Azul Afternoon blue. And then I embossed the sentiment there. And for the inside, I took a piece of the Basic White and I stamped it in the blue. And then I took the Designer Series paper and I put a strip down at the bottom. So let's go ahead and knock that out. We're going to take our bone folder and run across the top. And then we're going to take our piece of Basic White cardstock, and it goes on the inside. And it looks like I cut this one a little bigger than my sample, but that's okay. As long as it goes inside. Yes, it does. Okay. So we're going to put our piece of Basic White on the inside here. I'm going to take a piece of our strip and put our adhesive on it. And I ran mine from side to side of the card base, not for the basic white. And then I turned it over because you got the overhang here. We're going to take our snips and we're going to snip it off. And that way you don't have anything hanging over. We need to clean our birds again. Now the birds on the stamp set with the dies, the birds are in 3, but the stamp set is only 1 at a time. I don't know why they did that, but they did. All right, so we got our afternoon, and we're going to stamp our 3 birds right up in the corner here. All right. So that is the inside of our card. So we are done with the inside. For the outside, what I got going on is a piece of the designer series paper. We are going to take our piece of basic white with our stylish dies that I shared with you at the very beginning. And I used the large die, and I cut this out of the die, of the cardstock. And then I took the bottom half of it and put it in the embossing folder. I took the embossing folder then, and I lined it up. I turned it upside down. And I lined it up just like this, so then I could run this through just like this to get the water just on the bottom half. All right? So that is how we got that. And then I took the dies and I cut the clouds out with the die. And I got a big one. And I have a small die. Uh-oh, did I lose my small die? Hold on. I thought I had, there we go. He's in the envelope. All right, so we got a small cloud, which is off of the small die for the cloud. Okay. And then I took the sailboat die here. And I took this sailboat and I pre-cut that out as well. So we've got our sailboat piece and our, whatever that's called, the flag that goes over the sailboat. I'm not a big sail person. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been on a sailboat, so I don't know a whole lot about sailboats. But I love this set, so we're going to make this. All right, so what I did is I took this and we're going to put it on with dimensionals. Okay. And I did 3 up at the top, and I think I did 3 at the bottom. And then, because I don't have dimensionals, we're going to use the siding, because you know we use every ounce of our dimensionals, because these are good too, and these work great for things like this when it's small and narrow. We can snip that and put it right there. Okay, and then we're going to take our backs off here. All right. There, and then we're going to take this one off. All right. And then this goes kind of right in the center of our designer series paper. All right. Now we're going to take our, we got to take our bird one more time, and we're going to stamp our birds around. Uh-oh. All right. I got some ink up there. That'll be okay. We'll fix it. Let's go ahead and close this up so I don't get any more on there. And then we've got to put our dimensionals on the back side of our clouds, because everything is pretty much put on with dimensionals. So we're going to take it and do this. And then we're going to snip that off. All right. And then our sailboat is going to go on here as well. And let's see. I want to say we're going to put on the back side here, that piece. All right. Now for this, I took and put my adhesive on here. I did not put the white cover for the sailboat on with the adhesive. So we're going to just take this and it's going to go just like that. All right. Now we're ready to put our clouds on. Pull our dimensionals off. And we are going to put this right over our boo-boo there. And that way nobody will ever know that it got a little ink out of the way. And then we're going to put our small cloud right here. And then our sailboat is going to go right in there. Okay. Now we've got our tag for our sentiment. And for that, I did the heat emboss. So let's move this out of the way. We're going to take our little buddy. This is to remove the static out of the cardstock. So you just rub it across and then you try not to touch it again with your fingers so you don't get static on it again. And we're going to take our first mark and our sentiment. And I used Best Wishes. And just stamp it right on here. And then we're going to take our white embossing powder. Let's pick this up without touching any of the pieces, because you can't really see when you emboss it where your stamp is. Uh-oh. All right, so I got a little bit down here on the bottom, so I'm going to try to work my fingers on here. If you have a paintbrush, that works great too. All right, let's see. If I don't get it off and I heat emboss it, it's not going to hurt it. It'll just show the extra embossing powder. So I'm going to use my buddy and see if I can take just a tiny piece of it and work it off. There we go. I normally have a paintbrush, but my grandchildren must have been upstairs and got it because it's not in my bag. All right, so I've got that. Now I've got my heat gun tool. It's going to sound like a hairdryer, so give it 1 second. And once it changes, you can see the difference. See it changing there? It's turning white, solid white. That means it's heated and ready to go. If you touch it before it turns like that, then it will smear and it won't be any good. All right, so now we're ready to take this and put our, I used the mini dimensionals for this piece, because this was a kind of a smaller piece, so I used the mini dimensionals, and I did 3 going across there. We're going to take our backs off. All right, and then this is going to slide right up under there for our sentiment. All right, now we're going to take our embellishments and tap it off with our embellishments. We're going to do a big one down here. Let's do a small up here.